Businessman claims police harassment over a Facebook post. Argument between brothers ended in bloodshed. In the region, Haiti fuel shortage. Protesters call for president's resignation. And internationally, haze blankets Kuala Lumpur, Singapore as fire rage in Indonesia. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. An argument between two brothers reportedly ended in bloodshed on Monday afternoon. 45-year-old Mason Javin Jatan is alleged to have murdered his brother, 47-year-old painter Satnarayan Jatan called Dalip, at the home located at 471 Charlotte Street, Enterprise, East Coast, Demerara. The brothers shared a residence with their 67-year-old mother, Dasi Samaru, who was at home at the time of the altercation. According to Samaru, her sons began drinking alcohol around 10 a.m. Around 3:30, she heard the two arguing and decided to intervene. She claimed to have seen Satnarayan lying on the bathroom area of the yard, bleeding from his abdomen, while Javin left the yard without giving any explanation. Satnarayan was rushed to the C.C. Nicholson Hospital in the Backless, East Coast, Demerara, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body is currently at the Jerick's funeral parlor awaiting an autopsy. Coming up after the break, businessman claims police harassment over Facebook post.
Styles. Simply different.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient.
You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So, let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. The Sophia Training Center is having a difficult time in keeping its teachers. Mr. Devon Shaw, who headed the furniture making department, told Kaiser News that when you talk to these children about the way they behave in the classroom, they would start cursing and rushing up in the teacher's face, like if they want to fight. As a result, he and two other teachers have called it quits from the Sophia Training Center. The center provides training for some of Guyana's most troubled children, and as reported that last year, some 5 teachers quit their jobs at the center. The area left without teachers are furniture making and electrical installation departments, with the teachers complaining that they are working under intense pressure because of the way the students behave in the classroom. Some of those who have left made that decision without even securing another job. Shaw told Kaiser News that he quit about 2 weeks before the new school term started and that he is currently not working, even as he has a family to take care of. The juvenile justice bill that was recently passed has raised the age of criminal accountability from 10 to 14 years, and many in the juvenile justice arena are complaining that there are not sufficient structure in place to deal with the negative fallout. A businessman claims that a recent Facebook post has resulted in him being unfairly treated by the police. More from Esther Sobers.
That they're going to keep violating every...
Businessman Anthony Snow is accusing persons within the Guyana police force of unfairly prosecuting him. Recently, Snow was called into the Criminal Investigation Department headquarters to answer accusations that he defamed the character of Mohan Premlal, the proprietor of High Park Zoo. The accusations stem from a Facebook live video posted by Snow. In the video, he reportedly questioned the legality of Premlal's business practices.
The police is telling me now I am being charged for threatening language, of which they have no evidence of or proof to say that I've ever even threatened these people. And they're saying that I was damaging their business.
Snow claims that the accusations were levied against him after his housing project at Land of Canaan East Bank Darara began to affect the zoo's expansion, which is located in the adjacent area. This also contributed to a halt in Snow's housing project by the Housing Ministry.
On the show that we did, I asked for the president, I called on the government, I called on everybody to look into this. Because even when a zoo is passed or anything, there must be protocol. Somebody has to know what's going on, right? Persons who have the responsibility in housing to pass the plans for a zoo, they are required to check the area to see if anybody owns land in the area, to see if anybody has plans for development in the area, to see, you know, if anybody has an interest in their land. Instead, housing passed the zoo in 2010 without checking or notifying anybody that the zoo was going there.
Headline News contacted the proprietor of High Park Zoo, but all our calls went unanswered. Meanwhile, Snow claims that the police have not instituted any charges against him, but he still has to make weekly reports to the CID headquarters. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. When we return, Haiti fuel shortage. Protesters call for president's resignation. And haze blankets Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, as fire rage in Indonesia.
Are you kidding me? Really? So wrong. That is not what we were taught at the Green Generation Guyana camp.
Is this the correct way to do it? Drivers, you have two options that you can use. First, you can temporarily put your empty plastic bottles in the trunk of your vehicle or on the ground on the passenger side next to you. Or secondly, place them in the nearest garbage bin you see. We need you to play your part in helping us keep the environment clean and healthy. A message from the Ministry of Communities, Green Generation Guyana Sanitation Program. For more information, please contact us on 592-227-2605, or you may find us on the World Wide Web at www.moc.gov.gy.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. In the region, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is defending the government's handling of the Venezuelan migrant issue. He was responding to a BBC report titled "The Displaced" when 40,000 people hit a tiny island by Ashley John Baptist. Mr. John Baptist found that the government failed to properly handle the issue of forced displacement. He said Trinidad and Tobago only registered 16,000 Venezuelans, approving them to legally work for 1 year. However, the BBC journalist said thousands more were rejected, having failed to register during the amnesty period. Commenting on the report, Dr. Rowley warned that it was a misrepresentation of the country. The Prime Minister also slammed the BBC, whom he said he respected, adding that the report was part of an agenda. Dr. Rowley lamented that since January, Trinidad and Tobago has openly dealt with Venezuelan migrants' issues. He further denied that thousands were not registered. According to the Prime Minister, all Venezuelans were told they were free to register during the amnesty period. Failure to do so, he said, is not Trinidad's problem. Haiti's capital is at a standstill as violent protests continue over fuel shortage and a corruption scandal. The president is also facing renewed calls to resign. Al Jazeera reports.
Anger on the streets of Haiti's capital. Already struggling with a weak economy, these protesters are calling for an end to high fuel prices and shortages. During violent clashes with demonstrators, police are accused of shooting and killing a man amid protests in Port-au-Prince. Close by, one of his relatives is overwhelmed with grief. Days of protest have left the Caribbean nation at a standstill. Roads have been blocked, and some schools, banks, and government offices have closed their doors.
Our conditions are inhumane here in Haiti. The situation cannot continue.
Fuel suppliers say Haiti's government owes them about $100 million. They have refused to make deliveries until the debt is paid. And a corruption scandal has made things worse. Auditors say the government embezzled about $2 billion from a fund linked to a subsidized oil program for Caribbean nations. That money was meant to improve infrastructure, education, and health services.
The president has plundered the country's economy and become richer while making us poorer. We demand that he step down because if he continues, the system will not change.
Over the past year, corruption scandals have led to anti-government protests throughout Haiti, where the minimum wage is less than $3 a day. Despite the frustration, President Moise has refused to go. Earlier this month, the country's newly appointed prime minister addressed the crisis.
The government will focus on enforcing the justice system and public security, reinforcing the laws of social equality and accelerating economic growth in order to generate employment.
Protesters say the crisis is about more than fuel prices. They say the demonstrations will continue until the president and his inner circle step down. Katia Lopez-Odoyan, Al Jazeera.
And finally, haze from Indonesian fires could worsen in neighboring countries in the coming days. Efforts are being made to clear the haze from Malaysia's capital. Al Jazeera reports.
This is what Kuala Lumpur and many parts of Malaysia now look like. The heavy smog is caused by hundreds of fires burning through forest, mainly in neighboring Indonesia. During the dry season, land is set alight by farmers to clear it for new planting. Across Malaysia, schools are being shut on days the air pollution is considered very unhealthy. Adam Ilhan bin Muhammad Shakiran has asthma and nephrotic syndrome and has had to skip school for several days. On one, he had so much difficulty breathing that he had to go to the doctors 4 times.
Right, we're worried about his health, but he's bored. He keeps complaining about wanting to go back to school and be with meet with his friends and all that. I think if this haze situation, do not go away, it's going to be quite a stressful time for us as a family.
The Malaysian Meteorology Department is conducting cloud seeding, hoping to artificially create rain in an effort to clear the smog.
Salt crystals dissolved into a solution are being loaded onto a plane to be dispersed into clouds. Scientists say the little water that's in the air will condense around these newly introduced particles. They'll thicken the clouds and increase the chance of rain.
For that to work, there has to be enough cloud to produce rain. And even if there is, there may not be enough rainfall to reduce the haze.
As long as there are still forest fires and the winds continue to blow from there to this region, the haze will return, but at least we'll be able to temporarily reduce the air pollutant index.
In Indonesia, the government has sent in thousands of military and the police to help put out forest fires in Sumatra and the province of Kalimantan in Borneo. Its Environment Ministry has also sealed off plantations operated by dozens of companies where some of the fires were allegedly started. But until the monsoon season arrives next month, the smoke is forecast to continue choking the region. Florence Louis, Al Jazeera, Kuala Lumpur.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.